Yes, this is like when Bamandev asked for 3 steps. Bali Maharaj had no idea what the 3 steps means. Immediately he saw himself losing an entire kingdom, gone. So, similarly Prabhupada said, that's how we get the intelligence. So this is called elimination and selection. Tomorrow we're going to discuss that. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Today is the most fascinating chapter so far we did because, let's see, I'm coming to this point.
Prabhuji, I had one question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, regarding this sadhana bhakti, that is like Vaidhi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti, right?
Sadhana bhakti, okay. I want everybody to write it down because this is what going to take place in next few weeks until the end. Maybe I'll send you the chart later, but just write it down. This is very important. Who can tell me first why we are doing Uttama Bhakti? We discussed this few times. Somebody has to found it. Why? Why need Uttama Bhakti? Who remembers?
To understand the mood of Rajavasis.
Yeah, but why do we need to do bhakti first of all? Who remembers?
Krishna Prem is the fruit of Uttam Bhakti.
Krishna Prem is the goal of Uttama Bhakti. Very good. But why we need Krishna Prem? Because everybody is looking for happiness. Happiness. And ultimate happiness is in spiritual realm. And you remember, who remembers that material happiness is divided into 2, just to refresh. See if you can do it. You have to remember this every day. Material happiness is 2. One is bhoga tega, another is chapala sukha. Who remembers the chapala sukha or bhoga tega means? Someone jump in.
Chapala sukha is a flickering duration of the happiness.
Good. You ever had an experience like this? Like you... Bhogatega in a sense and Chapalosukha, material, we want happiness. But the price we pay, it's so high. Just like if I want Rasgulla, I love Rasgulla because I grew up with the Rasgulla, K.C. Das Rasgulla in Calcutta. Okay, now if you want K.C. Das Rasgulla and I make say $5,000 salary and they say each Rasgulla is $2,000. Now I love Rasgulla, but for my whole month's salary, I can buy only 2.5 Rasgulla. And I really want 2 Rasgulla today. I just want to enjoy. But I lose my entire month's income. You follow? So the soul are seeking for happiness and the material happiness is giving, but the price we have to pay, it's so high, so hard labor. The souls are like a lowest position of their hard labor in the material world. They should not work at all. In spiritual world, they do not work. It's a loving exchange. It's difference. Just like husband and wife, they love each other. If they give a one hug to each other, and if she say, oh, can I have a one more hug? Is it like a labor or is it an expression of love? It's an expression of love. It is not like, oh, it's so hard, we have to give hug 2 times or 3 times. No, it's an expression of love. It is not a hard labor. So the spiritual world is all expression of love. But each person is fully satisfied within. But they extend their happiness by serving the Lord because it creates more happiness, more happiness. But the same happiness deeply rooted in the material world also, but the price we pay is so high for a little flickering. That's called chapal sukha. You follow? We really want happiness, real happiness. But this just 10-minute sex enjoyment or movie or whatever, half an hour, it's like a whole day I have to work hard for this. This is not what the soul is made for. So material happiness is compared to anybody, or maybe I don't want to go that route. The comparison that what is the highest happiness as a human being, then you multiply 100, then come to demigod, then the 100 comes, everybody remembers that, right? And then you come to a point of Brahmananda, and then you multiply 1,000 trillion times, then you come to a point of Sevananda. So we are looking for Sevananda, but to get Sevananda, we need to do Uttama Bhakti. And Uttama Bhakti will produce what? Uttama Bhakti has two types or three stages or three types. Please help me. Is Uttama Bhakti three stages or three types? 3 stages. You know, stages means kindergarten, like a first grade, second grade, third grade. It's like a gradual. It is not 3 types. So Uttama Bhakti is 3 types. No, 3 stages. It's like a Prabhupada says green mango and ripened mango. It's the same thing, but it's immature stage, then more mature, then perfect stage. So beginning with sadhan bhakti, everybody write it down, sadhan bhakti. Sadhan bhakti is practiced in 2 ways. One is Vaidhi sadhan bhakti, one is Raganuga sadhan bhakti. I was going to discuss tomorrow, but just to give you a little glimpse. Vaidhi sadhan bhakti, this practicing, this is what we are discussing last few weeks. And tomorrow we are going to start Raganuga sadhan bhakti. So Vaidhi sadhan bhakti means, we are going to discuss in a few minutes, but Vaidhi sadhan bhakti goal is Vaidhi bhava utthaya, or Vaidhi bhav, you can say. And sadhan bhakti in spontaneous or Raganuga will produce Raganuga bhav. Then Vaidhi bhav will give us the result of prema in Vaikuntha and Mahavaikuntha, like in Dwarka, Mathura. And Raganuga becomes Rupanuga, or in Brajavasi's mood, takes us to Braja Prem. Everybody is clear? Is it clear? Can you write it down again? What we are doing? Sorry?
Yes, it's clear, bro.
Okay, very good. So with that note, I'm going to start right now. That 13th chapter today, we finished up to 12th chapter yesterday. 13th chapter today, Srila Prabhupada writes, this chapter completes the discussion of 64 items. Now, yesterday already 64 items is complete. Why separate chapter is given by Rupa Goswami Pad and Prabhupada put this in a specific? In a minute we are going to discuss that. So, it elaborates on the wonderful effect of performing the 5 most potent forms of devotional service, describing in chapter 12. Begins to discuss some item wrongly considered to be angas of bhakti. Angas means limbs. So Srila Rupa Goswami Pad has already listed them as items of sadhana bhakti, but here mention them a second time to emphasize their superlative effectiveness in invoking devotion. Evoking, so when we say evoking ecstatic devotion means bhav. You can remember this, bhav, Prabhupada translate as a ecstatic bhakti or devotional service, and then spontaneous devotional service means prem. Don't think both are same, otherwise we will have a problem. Everybody understood me? Pitambar Prabhu, did you get it? We are practicing every day, we are chanting, We're bowing down to the Lord, we are honoring, we are paying obeisances, we are taking prasadam. You're doing this every day, right? So when you're doing, what you are expecting? Not to get love of God at prem. You think of bhav. Bhav proper translate means it is within your heart. It is not something to be produced. Then we'll discuss then what is the use of doing sadhana. We'll have this question answer at the end. But it is very interesting that today's subject matter, these 5 items, they repeated because this 5 item has the most potent to awaken your bhava just by doing one or combination of 5 or 2 or 3. Let me ask you a question. Who remembers this, what Prabhupada said? Should we become master of all and jack of none, or jack of all trade and master of one? In your spiritual life, what do you think practical? You don't have to be afraid to answer.
Jack of all and master of one.
Jack of all and master of one?
Yes.
Who said that? Abhigyan Prabhu. Very good. Yes, that is exactly what Prabhupada said. Very good. So write it down. You should be aware of every limbs of bhakti. We should be fully aware. This way we can respect. But you become something you like, what you are naturally attracted, become the genius of that by performing more seriously. If you like to read Bhagavatam, then dive into it. Do your other limbs of bhakti just for the sake of doing, but adore, love what you are doing. At least one item or 2 items you should emphasize in your life the most. Just like Parikshit Maharaj was just by listening, Shukdev Goswami by speaking, Prahlad Maharaj by remembering, like this. So those are very important. Okay, so the final 5 items. Number 1, Sri Murtir Angri Sevane Prita. Now before I go there, I made a little question here. Why these are the most potent? Instead of in entire 64, why these are the most potent? There is the answer, because I'm going to ask this in your exam. You will have this, so you better have prepared. First answer is Srila Rupa Goswami Pad already listed them as item of sadhana bhakti, but here mentioned again just to emphasize the superlative effectiveness in evoking ecstatic or bhava devotion. So according to Rupa Goswami Pad, these 5 are the most potent to evoke bhava. So that's why he made it separately another chapter. Number 1. Number 2, Prabhupada says, Srila Prabhupada says, this practice are so potent, this is page number 109, that a small attachment for any of these 5 items can arouse devotional ecstasy even in a new fight. In Gujarat, they had a Harinam, and the devotee went in ecstasy kirtan. Lot of American devotees, European devotees, Matajis, Prabhus, and they never saw the Western body dancing, chanting. And all of a sudden they saw actually one Mataji and one Prabhu and few others are crying even while chanting. So the newspaper put an article. They are experiencing ecstasy bhava. So then one outsider, not ISKCON devotee, he commented, he said, that's not possible. How can bhava be there? They just joined. How can bhava be there? So they shown the newspaper to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, why not? Rupa Goswami Pad says, any living entity, everybody has the bhava already within. Any moment it can come, it depends on their sincerity and surrender. In a moment you can surrender, or it may take million life to surrender. It up to you. So why somebody can say like this? And Prabhupada was very adamant about this, so nicely Prabhupada established. Yes, we can have, it's up to you. Devotional ecstasy referred to bhava bhakti. Neophyte in this context referred to one with weak attachment. Now, question is, where is the proof? What Prabhupada says and what Rupa Goswami Pad says, is there some evidence we can say? Yes, it's in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila chapter 22.128. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavat Sravan Mathurabas Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself quoted this. So nobody can say no. Sakala sadhan shrestha ei pancha anga Krishna prem janmai ei pancher alpa sangha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself taught this to Rupa Goswami Pad and Sanatana Goswami Pad. Now I want everybody to understand this. How it is relevant to us. It is relevant in that sense. Now you may say, Prabhu, this is good. We are excited. We want to go back home, but before that, while we are in this material world, we want to experience this spiritual ecstasy. Everything is wonderful. But how come some people are there 4 decades, 5 decades, 2 decades, or they are in the movement, but they are not experiencing what you are speaking? Well, Prabhupada answer here. Srila Prabhupada used these 5 most potent items as a pillar on which, this is a very interesting. Anybody knows what you do in ISKCON temple from morning program? Anybody knows? Anybody knows these 5 most potent limbs and what ISKCON temple does in the morning program? Can somebody relate to that? What do we do in ISKCON temple in the morning? First of all, what are the 5 limbs I mentioned? Anybody remembers the 5 limbs? Okay, write it down please again. First thing is deity worship. Second thing is reciting Sri Bhagavatam. Third is devotee association. Fourth is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Fifth things, reciting in a temple devotional atmosphere. Even though it says Mathura Mandal, but I learned something from Prabhupada very interestingly. One American devotee, he went to Radharaman temple and he was sitting there chanting very nicely and for hours. And the pujari came, told him, I bless you. Next life you become Brajabasi, take birth in the Vrindavan. And he came back and told Prabhupada. Would somebody like to guess what Prabhupada answered? Would anybody like to guess what Prabhupada answered? I'll tell you what Prabhupada answered. I just want to see what you think. Because you live in America. And this devotee in Radharaman temple, Pujari, he blessed this American devotee. He said, I bless you. I pray for you. The next life you take birth in Vrindavan. What do you think when Prabhupada heard it?
Probably Prabhupada might have said that you're not even going to take birth on this earth.
Huh? I could not hear. What is that?
Prabhupada might have said that you probably will go to Golok Vrindavan and not going to take birth on earth.
That's a nice guessing, but not exactly. Okay, I tell you what Prabhupada said. Prabhupada told him, go back and tell the pujari, I also bless you. You take birth in America next life and glorify Krishna. Just staying in Vrindavan and not glorifying Krishna is not good enough, according to Mahaprabhu. That this pastime, these topics of Prabhupada's many pastimes, to open our eyes. Oh my God, what is important? It's not important. Everybody please write it down. We are product of our own decision, not situation. It's not important where you are born. It's not so much important. Okay, it has a facilities there. If you are born in a Indian culture, okay, you have a facility. That doesn't mean you are advanced. You may take the facility, you may not take the facility. Prahlad Maharaj was born in a demon family. His father was a big demon, biggest demon. So facility does not make, pure devotee are not born in the maternity, right? Pure devotee are born from where? From the choice they make in their life. This is very important. You should write those things that we are product of our decision, not situation. You can be born anywhere, but if you did not accept Krishna consciousness, what value? I could be born in a Brahman family, I don't do Krishna bhakti. I only do some Deva bhakti, demigod bhakti or whatever. Then it's simply wasting time. Okay, this is very nice. So these 5 limbs of bhakti, who is going to mention again? Somebody from, let's see, Nilachal. Who is Nilachal? I don't see the face. Can you say, Prabhu or Mataji, I'm not sure. What are the 5 limbs of most potent bhakti? Nilachal name. Okay, they are not there. Let's see who else is there. Bharati, Mother Bharati. Is not there either. Hema Govinda Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. The 5 limbs are: one is a deity worship, the second is a reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, third is a devotee association, fourth is a chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and the fifth is residing in a Krishna temple or one of the pilgrimage place.
Wonderful. Thank you. That was very nice. Now, who is going to say how it is relevant to us? What we do in our temple, ISKCON temple? Somebody please. Shubham Shyam. I forgot who that devotee is.
We chant in the temple, we recite Bhagavatam, we do deity worship, and we associate with devotees.
So just by going to temple or just by following the Prabhupada's morning program, you do all the 5 activities. Isn't it wonderful?
Yes, Prabhupada.
Thank you. Wonderful. Very good. This is how Prabhupada set up. What Prabhupada did is unbelievable. Only through the eye of Rupa Goswami Pad we can appreciate and thank to Prabhupada. So let's say, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. This is such a wonderful that Prabhupada actually established based on these 5 principles. Such a important factor. Okay, now we are going to discuss one by one limbs. Oh, I'm sorry, I asked that question, how Prabhupada set up, but why they don't get the taste. Any one of these items can quickly arouse bhava bhakti even in a new fight. However, these powerful items will not bestow their effects as long one commits offenses. Prabhu, I like the temple, it's just that Mataji, she irritates me. Okay, that's it. It blocks. You want to experience spiritual happiness? It blocks because you're judging a dedicated soul. I don't care who is what. When I go to temple, I need my room. I go there straight. What I want to do, I want to do. I don't care about the others. Excuse me, this is an offense. Why? Because Krishna, the same Krishna that I'm going to temple, is in the heart of all those devotees. You are going to pay the obeisances to the deity, but the same deity in the heart of all those devotees. Everybody understanding that point? We have to start looking in a different angle that each devotee is very important because they have same Krishna that I am paying obeisances, and I am excited to pay obeisances and glorify in their heart also. If you can start respecting the devotee, you are already advancing and you will start relishing this Krishna consciousness happiness. Thus the devotee who wants to make rapid advancement, Prabhupada writes, should focus on these 5 potent items and very diligently avoid offenses. Anybody can tell me in a 1 minute all the 10 offenses? The reason I am asking, I test this in Alachua. You want to avoid offenses? Or first of all, you have to know what are the offenses. If you don't know what are the offenses, how are you going to avoid? Oh, I mean, not to criticize, that's all. No. You have to know all the 10 offenses. If you do not know the 10 offenses, then how are you going to avoid? It makes sense? Who is saying? Go ahead.
To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Okay.
To consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in the pursuance of the Vedic version. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination.
To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered to the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. And 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on that matter.
Very good. Very good. Who is that? Gora Chand. Very nice. Who knows the first offense? What is the first offense?
To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
What is that means? Do you know? How many way you do this?
Like to say bad things about devotees who are dedicated in their devotional lives.
Okay. And that's 1. There are 6. Hanti nindati vaidesti vaishnavanam nabhinandati. You know why I remember? Because I was afraid. Out of fear I learned that verse and contemplate. Because I used to go to many years back, 20 years back, like if I would not like a devotee, I see him in the mall, I go other side of the mall. It's offense. Hasati. No hasati. If you don't feel happy by seeing a devotee, it is an offense. If you see demigod, you don't have to bow down. But if you see somebody with tilakam, you must bow down. This is the injunction. So seeing a devotee, we should be happy. But sometimes our mind trick us and judge us. So this is 1. And the second is Hanti Nindati. Vaishnavanam na abhinandati. You don't welcome. If you see some devotee came, you just go on the other side. Even in the temple. He's on the other side, you are on the other side. You don't want to talk. Why can't you just smile and say Hare Krishna? And in your heart you say, this is so nice, seeing a Krishna's representative. Why we don't do this? Because we have impersonalism, contamination. We isolate ourselves. No, I like only this devotee, he's my friend, she's my friend, no, they are not really my friend. I just say, I just don't talk. No, you have to see them as a devotee. That is very important. Hanti nindati vaidishti vaishnavanam na abhinandati. So we have to be very careful, and if you are careful, then you will get love of Godhead. Okay. So first
Prabhu,
thing,
can you say that shloka again?
Hanti. You know Hanti means,
Find that sloka, Prabhu.
I can put it on the post later.
Okay, alright, thank you.
Okay. There are 6 ways you have to always be careful. Just be careful, that's all. I'm not going to judge you. And guess what Prabhupada says when you are careful not to commit offense? Anybody heard this, what Prabhupada says? When you are careful, you have to know all these 10 offenses and the 6 Vaishnava offenses. When you are aware of it and you try not to commit, then where are you at that point? Is the holy name has a 3 stages, or holy name has a 3 perception? Nam aparad, namabhas and Suddhanam. Offensive name, clearing stage, and then pure name. Is it like a 3 stages or 3 types of name? Anybody understood the question? Not making clear. Okay. If you are in the moon planet, is the moon complete or there is a crescent, there is a half moon, quarter moon in the moon planet, or moon planet is always full moon? Which one?
It's always full.
Very good. So holy name is always full and complete and pure. It says, you can read in Padma Purana and Prabhupada quote those verses. Nama Chinta Mani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Suddha. Purna means complete. Suddha, pure. Purna, Suddha, Nitta, Mukta. It is not Namaparad or Namavas. It is always pure. But the perceiver, where offensive state, they see a crescent. Person on the earthly planet, far distance from the moon planet, they see crescent. They see also new moon, no moon. They are called atheists. They don't believe in God. They don't see God. But God is always there, complete, like a full moon. So Prabhupada says, when you are aware of all the 10 offenses and you are trying to not commit offense, that stage is called namavas. Namavas means you will experience some happiness, no more material suffering. So you have to be constantly aware all those offenses and you don't want to commit. And if you take this vow and really not commit, you will experience something mystical happiness within you. Bhagavat Prabhu, did you get it? Can you tell me what am I making the point?
I didn't understand it.
Then you have to ask. I see you are busy with the chair. Now pay attention. You have to know all the 10 offenses on your throat. You know what is that means? On throat means? Meaning you can, anytime you can say it and memorize and just try to apply this. When you are very careful, cautious not to commit offense, at that time you will get out of namaparad to above namabhas. You will experience some happiness and then you can approach pure name. But if you are not aware what namaparad are, then how are you going to get out? In order to kill the demon or enemy, you have to first recognize who are the enemy. It makes sense? If you want to kill the enemy, first you have to recognize who are the enemy. So nama aparad is blocking your experience, then you have to be aware how to get out. So Prabhupada said, just try not to commit. That's all. Just try. That position is namavas. So nice. So before ending of August class, I'm going to ask randomly who remembers all these 10 offenses. Just like this. Not even thinking like, where did I make the note? Oh my God, I forgot the note. No. Note is not going to help. It has to be in your heart. That you don't want to commit. So today's subject matter is 5 topics. 5 topics. First is deity worship. So let's see what Prabhupada says. Prabhupada gives an example by saying that Rupa Goswami composed a beautiful metaphor. Beautiful metaphor to illustrate the special efficacy of deity worship. My dear friend, if you still have any desire to enjoy the company of your friend within the material world, then don't look upon the form of Krishna, who is standing on the bank of Keshighat. He is known as Govinda. His eyes are very enchanting. He is playing upon his flute, and on his head there is a peacock feather. His whole body is illuminated by the moonlight in the sky. Who knows this song? Anybody knows that song? Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote that song. Bandhu sange jodi tabo ranga parihas. Anybody heard that song? Prabhupada put this here in this chapter. Also he put it in actually purport of Bhagavatam. Bandhu sange jodi tabo ranga parihas. If you want to enjoy the material family life, material world, life after life, then don't look at the deity. Anybody understood what I am trying to say? He said, don't look at the ISKCON temple deity, because if you look at the deities in the temple, you lose the taste of the material enjoyment. Why? Because he is very attractive. He is so attractive that you will eventually lose all the taste of the material world. Okay. The next item. Next item is Srimad Bhagavatam. And the example that evokes, Prabhupada writes, Srila Rupa Goswami composes a similar metaphor, calling a friend foolish for having heard the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, thereby becoming completely indifferent to the wonderful activities of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. He thus poetically instruct us to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, which is so glorious that even the 4 goals of human life are insignificant in comparison. More you hear about Bhagavatam, you lose taste of this material world. This is what Prabhupada is explaining. The next item is serving devotee association. I have a question, who can answer? Mother Soilaja, can you answer the question? When you see a cow and a calf, the calf is going towards the mother cow, does the baby calf has to ask or beg mother cow to give milk, or it comes automatically?
I think he has to ask first, or like it comes, yeah. I think it comes first, he has to beg for it.
You sure the baby calf has to beg for the milk?
No. It comes automatically.
Okay, now you change it. Very good. Why it comes automatically?
Because a mother's love is different than any other love. Because a mother could never say no to you.
Okay, the affection. Very good. So Prabhupada gave a very nice logic here. I'm just putting into an example. Associate with the devotees who cares for your spiritual life. Write it down. Associate with the devotees. 3 things. Who has the same goal, that they want to go to Golok Vrindavan. Don't associate with somebody who only talks about Ram Katha, but his goal is to merge into Ram. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so angry with Ramdas Bishwas. And the devotees were surprised why Mahaprabhu is angry. He says, I don't want to see his face. And they got scared. But he talks about Lord Ram so nicely. And he cries for Lord Ram. So then when Mahaprabhu says, if anybody ever asks me to bring him to me, I'm going to leave all of you and go somewhere else. In Jagannath Puri he said that. Then all the devotee immediately got scared. They interviewed him. Hey, you are chanting Ram's Leela, you singing whole day, and you crying. What is your goal? What do you want? He said, I just want to merge into the body of Ram. Why? Why you want to merge into the? Because I don't want any existence. Any mother would like to see their child want to merge inside the womb where the baby comes from? Can somebody answer? Prabhupada asked that question. If the child comes, he is grown up now, 30 years old. Oh mommy, so much trouble in life. I wish I could re-enter in your womb and just stay there, never come out. You think that's a good idea? Anybody? Please raise hand who thinks it's a good idea.
No, that's not a good idea.
Who is saying that? Okay. Ishwapuni. Okay. Why it's not a good idea, mother? Mother Ishopanishad, why it is not a good idea? He feels like a maintaining family is so much hard work, job, oh, too much. I rather want to be in the womb of mother and mother drinks everything and I get automatically fat. I don't need to work anything there.
Prabhu?
Yes.
My understanding that being in the womb is not very pleasant at all. It's very uncomfortable. You're being antagonized by different, different things. You're not able to, stretch, breathe properly.
Very good. Very good answer.
It's not a very pleasant thing being in the womb.
Very good. Very good answer. So mother expect the child to remain happy when he grows big. But some or other he misunderstood. So similarly, you have to associate with the devotees who have similar goal, not different goal. Just because somebody knows so many sloka or philosophy doesn't mean he has the same goal. You have to find out what Rupa Goswami Pad says, Sajatiya. Sajatiya means he has to have the same mentality but with a higher consciousness. Snigdha, also who has affection. There may be a sannyasi who is very advanced, but he doesn't want to talk to you. He doesn't want to give Harikatha or talk about Krishna to you. By the way, you write it down. Pure devotee means, Prabhupada writes, pure devotee means they remind you of Krishna. If some devotee is not reminding you of Krishna, they remind you of some dirty things, then something is wrong. Pure devotee means they remind you of Krishna. And when you meet a pure devotee means they talk about Krishna, they talk about bhakti, they talk about spiritual life. Not like, oh, how many car you have? You got a now new car, new Mercedes? Oh, yes, Maharaj, very nice, very good. Your salary is now, your boss is giving more salary. He's pumping out, oh, you have some donation for me, very good, very good. This is not pure devotee meeting. Prabhupada says pure devotee means they remind you of Krishna, they give you Krishna consciousness. You feel more close to Krishna. If you feel some association more close to your Guru and Krishna, that is best association. Write it down. Any association that makes you feel closer to Krishna, closer to Prabhupada and Krishna, then it is the best association. Just like a baby calf goes to the mother cow and mother cow gives milk. Similarly, pure devotee means they naturally have an affection to give Krishna consciousness to others. So don't go to person who say, hey, what are you doing? Let's go watch a movie. That's not a devotee association. Maybe you want to watch a movie, it's okay, but don't consider that is a devotee association. Devotee association means who cares for your spiritual life, number one. That person has an affection for my spiritual growth. He may be advanced, but he doesn't care my spiritual life. Is that good? No. So you have to have that discrimination with you, that you want to progress and make sure your help from a source you're getting is also compassionate towards you. Next. Mantra, Srinam Sankirtan. Bhajaner madhye shrestha navavida bhakti, Krishna prem Krishna dite dhare mahashakti. Tar madhye sarvashrestha nama sankirtan, nirapade nam loile pai premadhan. It is said that the saints have been able to hear the vibrating string of the Bina in the hand of Narada. This is what Prabhupada is saying in that chapter. Who is always singing the glories of Lord Krishna. Now this same sound vibration has entered my ears. And I am always feeling the presence of the Supreme Personality of. Gradually I am becoming bereft of all attachment for material enjoyment. This is very good. And we'll discuss more. The next one is Mathura Mandal. Because I want to I have some question answer too. Mathura Mandal. We already discussed about that. That Mathura means, what is Vrindavan means? What is Prabhupada's definition of Vrindavan means? Where everybody, all the time, everywhere trying to please Krishna. That is called Vrindavan. It could be in Alachua, it could be in New Orleans, it could be, you go to Mayapur, Prabhu, you live in America, is there a way I can go there? I asked, why you want to go there? Because I also went for some material purpose. Why you want to go there? Just want to work few years to make some money. Why you want to get married? No. Why you lying? If you don't want to get married, then why you need the money for? My parents are, so you became devotee to maintain your parents? You go get job outside. Why you became devotee here as a brahmachari? Why you not straightforward? And he got so scared. I said, you know why? Because I come from that background. And this is not a straightforward Vaishnava association. You be straightforward. Prabhu, I want to make money, I want to get married, I want to have a material enjoyment. But this is, if I say this, then everybody will know my dirty part of the heart. But Vaishnavism means straightforward. So, you can be in Mayapur, you can be in Vrindavan, but thinking about America. Which part is good? Or you can be in New Orleans, think of Vrindavan, Krishna. Which one is better? Because we are product of our decision, means by consciousness. In New York, Prabhupada was in the hospital. And Prabhupada told this story, that he was ringing bell in Radha Damodar temple. And his eyes closed, evening arati going on, he's ringing bell. You know, Prabhupada ring bells means not like a hand bell, it's like with the rope. So he said, I was ringing bell, then all of a sudden I felt little chest pain. So I opened my eyes, and then I found myself in the hospital in New York. He told this to Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, who narrated this story beautifully. He said, your Swami Maharaj, he's in New York, but he is also in Vrindavan, because he is always serving the Lord, Radha Damodar, even in New York. So Prabhupada constantly, Prabhupada says, Vrindavan is a state of consciousness, where devotional service is full-fledged. It is not a physical proximity. I give you a little story of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur time, so you will understand. There is one devotee who did not want to go outside Mayapur. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, I want you to go out and preach. But Prabhupada, I don't want to go, I want to just stay in Holidham. Prabhupada said, no, I want you to go outside and preach. You're supposed to obey your Guru's order. But Prabhupada, can I do some service here? I just don't want to leave. I don't want to go away from Holidham. And then there is another devotee, same time. It's a beautiful story. I met one of them to hear that story in 1978. I remember that story, very nice. Then there is another devotee, he was working taking care of the cows. And Bhakti Siddhanta Surya Thakur says, are you happy? He says, yes, Prabhupada, I am happy to serve under your guidance. Very nice. I think this Kartik, I want you to go to Vrindavan, have a darshan of Vrindavan and see Radha Krishna's Lila stall, Vrindavan. Okay, Prabhupada, whatever you want. So this devotee, he went to Vrindavan and he arrived in Mathura in the train station in the evening, and then he came to Gauriya Math and he paid obeisances. 1933, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur was present and he paid obeisances in Gaur Arati. He came right in the evening, Aratik time. He put his luggage and he paid obeisances and he started dancing, I'm in Vrindavan, I'm in Vrindavan. And he's so happy and he paid obeisances, he never got up. Left his body. Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, this is entering in Vrindavan. He entered into Golok Vrindavan. He already went there. Because he obeyed his guru. And the other devotee, he is so fanatic, he doesn't want to go outside Mayapur. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur requested him to go out, but he doesn't want to go. All of a sudden a disease came. Such a disease, we don't know what kind of disease. Those days, they did not identify all this cancer, all this disease. So the local doctor cannot fix it, Krishnanagar doctor cannot fix it. He went to Calcutta hospital and he's getting cured and he died there. Everybody understood how you enter into Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan? Follow your guru's instruction. It is not your ability that you enter into Vrindavan. Under guidance of your guru, when you follow, you serve. You can be in New Orleans. When death comes in your old age, you will enter in Golok Vrindavan if you are following sadhana under your guru's guidance. Not by physical proximity of buying ticket to go to Vrindavan. Okay. Now, anybody needs 5 minutes break or we just... No need break. If you needed break, you would say it. So I'm going to read the result. Now, I'm going to ask you a question with this. Rico Eli, you are there every day. Rico Eli Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, how are you?
Okay. You heard me, last few weeks we are discussing about 64 limbs. But in your heart, I'm just using you as an example. In your heart, you may want to get married and you want to have a children or you want to do some work outside and enjoy a little bit life. You want to be straightforward. You want to do practice bhakti, devotional service, but you also want to have a material family life and this, that. But you found in 64 items, there is no mention about marriage. Now, is this getting married is not a bhakti or what? You have any idea? Or you are scared to answer? Anybody remembers in 64 item anything mentioned about marriage? No, nothing. It's not a limbs of bhakti. Wait a minute, then we should not get married or what? But I want to make money. I being honest to you, when I came in 80s, 89, in America, I wanted to make money and become rich. And Krishna gave me. But Krishna also pulled me out of it. Very interesting. So, question is that I want to get married, make money and this, that, enjoy also life side by side. But it is not part of the bhakti looks like. We just read a whole few weeks we went through. How do we reconcile? So, at the end, Prabhupada, of that chapter, Prabhupada writes very nicely. Srila Rupa Goswami first analyzed Varnashram Dharma, concludes that it is not item of bhakti. However, a devotee who is not yet fully attached to unalloyed glorification of Krishna may utilize Varnashram Dharma to regulate and purify his destructing material desire. So goal is not to get married. Just like you want to drive to Miami. Goal is not to ride the car. Goal is to go to Miami, reach Miami. But you need the vehicle to go there. Everybody understand that example? Rico, Prabhu.
Yes.
Okay.
Understand.
So our goal is Krishna Prem. Before getting Krishna Prem, we need to revive the Bhava Bhakti. To get the Bhava Bhakti, we need to do Sadhan Bhakti. This 64 article, especially this 5, most important. But my mind is disturbed. I get disturbed, agitated. So you get a wife. Get legitimate, Vaishnava way, get married, procreate children. You fulfill that desire. But your goal is not just to get married life after life. No. Your goal is to do pure bhakti. But you, in order to do it nicely, you may want to get married. You may need a car instead of walking 10 miles every day. So like this, you take the facility, whatever you need, but that's not our goal. Like this way. In Bhagavatam, it says that family life is like a deep dark well. You know deep dark well, the conception means you're looking for water and you're searching, but there is no water. But Bhagavatam also said, what is this? Gopal Radhe Prabhu. Yesterday he quoted this verse. Komarat acharet pragya dharman bhagavataniha. Prahlad Maharaj, first instruction to the demoniac children. Komarat acharet pragya dharman bhagavatamiha. Durlava manava janma tatrabi adruvam arthadam. Very beautiful verse. And here Prahlad Maharaj says, yes, this human life is very temporary, but if you can utilize it, it can give you the highest goal of life. And if you feel disturbed, you need to get married, then get married to a devotee girl that, or for a Mataji to a boy, that who will make your family life like a fort. You know fort, the idea fort Prabhupada used. Fort means inside that ashram, you will not be attacked by Maya. So to take a shelter, you may want to go to that route. It's okay. So it's not a question of getting married or not getting married. If you need a shelter because your senses are agitated, then stay married in a peaceful atmosphere where you will be protected from the attack of Maya. You don't have to be disturbed in your mind. So from that angle, you get married, but goal is to serve Krishna. Goal is not to stay married. Because death will separate anyway. One day either she will die or you will die. Everybody understood that concept? Very nicely, that's how Prabhupada gave it. Now I am going to go to another section of summarizing. Okay. I was making... Yes, somebody has a question?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
You said married to somebody where you will not be attacked by Maya. That means you want somebody to be very possessive or taking care of everything, or how does she protect you from the Maya?
It's very simple. In marriage counsel, today is not a marriage counseling, but in the topics, I thought about it one time because I was counseling to a young couple. You check what you want, what she wants, and you also check what she does not want, what you want, she doesn't want, and what she wants, you don't want. You have to deal those in relation to bhakti. When you come to a mutual understanding that, okay, what both of you want, you don't need to discuss too much. What you both don't want, What you want, she doesn't want, or what she wants, you don't want. You need to address those. If they are aligned with devotional principle, then you adapt it. If she say, I like to chant extra rounds every day, I want you to encourage me. And if you feel like, I don't like to chant extra round, I just want to finish 16 rounds and forget the japa of mala until tomorrow. But I like to watch movies. She say, I don't like watching movie much, maybe once a month or once a week. So you have to adjust, she has to adjust like this, you have to talk, not just get married because she is beautiful. I'm just giving you just little tips. We can talk about few hours, but that's not today's class. So something like this, you have to see, because the goal is to achieve Krishna Prem by awakening Bhava. She's going to help me, you have to help her. When you get married, first criteria, you write it down, Abhay Vigyan Prabhu. You have an opportunity to serve and get a mentor. She will become your mentor. You know mentor? You know how the man's false ego goes away when you have a good wife. She will tell you what to do and you don't like it, but you have to obey it, accommodate it. She is becoming your good spiritual mentor. How are you going to get out of false ego? Now you got mentor. So it's good. If you can see from spiritual angle, you will respect her. Do not see her as an object of your senses. You see her as a devotee of Krishna. Krishna sent her as a gift in my life so that I can appreciate. Like this way, devotional way, then it can be very harmonious, wonderful living. And the biggest problem, I'm being very straightforward, majority they see an object of my senses. And this is not a criteria of Vaishnava culture marriage. Then there is a problem. Okay. So question comes, okay, so far we learned a lot of things. You might be thinking, gosh, when this will be over in August, oh good. Oh, 2 hours, my God, I have to hear him. You will be thinking like this. And maybe you're not, you're being nice to me. But I think sometime, maybe they will be thinking like this. Okay, so I have a question. Is this the Hare Krishna philosophy that we are discussing every week for 2 hours, 3 days, 2 days? Is it just another philosophy? I have an option to hear. I'm asking you this question. Do you consider the teaching very seriously? If you realize that there was no objection in Shastra what we read, on contrary, it contained the essence of all Shastra. Do you find in Nectar of Devotion teachings? Do you find that the essence of all the Shastra is what we are discussing? Or it's just like, gosh, 2 hours talking. No, get out of this laziness. Because you are made of your consciousness, not this tired body. Yes, you are in the body, I understand. I also feel tired sometimes. But my point is, look back, reflect back. Is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the complete manifestation of Bhagavan? Answer to this question to yourself. His profound teaching through Rupa Goswami Pad, Nectar of Devotion, is it like a complete, rare opportunity we have? Think. Make a little note. Once you are convinced, then you will never give up practicing this. I'm serious. And if you are not convinced, oh yeah, we had a Bhakti Shastri course. So how is your chanting going? I'm trying. That means you did not appreciate it. I really appreciate all of you that you taking your valuable time and allowing me to share this beautiful transcendental knowledge. I'm trying to apply this every day in my life and I feel joyful. I hope you all take it also seriously and have a conviction Other day I mentioned that bhakti sustained on tribulation or mental emotion. Which one? Who remembers? Oh no, COVID-19 is scary virus. You better chant Hare Krishna. I don't want to die. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Danger is coming. I better chant. I'm asking the question. Bhakti sustained on mental satisfaction, mental emotion, or tribulation? Come on, someone to answer. Neither. Neither tribulation nor mental emotion. Then what? Conviction. Conviction. Bhakti sustain. Write it down. Bhakti sustain. You know, sustain means your livelihood. How you earn the money. How you continue your bhakti. When you have a conviction and determination. Bhakti sustain on determination and conviction. Not on tribulation. Oh, I don't feel good today. You know, I may not go to temple. Why? I don't feel good. I'm tired. I didn't have enough sleep. I'm just going to rest a little bit. Maybe watch a little movie or I'll chant later. You are depend on your mental emotion. Bhakti does not sustain on mental emotion. Because today you may feel good, tomorrow you may not feel good. So please everybody write it down. Shyama Sundar Prabhu, please write it down. Hearing is good, but writing down, otherwise you'll forget. That bhakti sustained on conviction and determination, not on mental emotion or say mental satisfaction or tribulation. Got it? Very good. So my question is now, I want you to all write to me after the end of the class, before tomorrow morning, what have you attained so far? You have come to spend time. Gopal Radhe Prabhu, Sadhdev Prabhu, they arrange all this beautiful, wonderful. You are appreciating. You remember to retain knowledge, you have to have these three components. Very good. But ask yourself, what have I attained so far? What have I gained through this knowledge? How am I going to apply this question I'm asking you? So Rupa Goswami Pad, I'm just going to give you brief so you will have some idea. So far where do we come? Because tomorrow we are going to start a new section. It's called Raganuga Bhakti. Today we are finishing Vaidhi Bhakti. Rupa Goswami Pad, he said, love, priti, is the goal of all living entity. Everybody is looking for love. You remember Prabhupada says in the preface, if anyone has an opposition right now, raise your hand. Prabhupada said everybody wants to love someone. If somebody say, no, that's not true, I don't, he is liar. You cannot live without loving someone. And if you don't find anybody, then you love cat or dog. In America, that's why they do this. They love pets. They love their country. They always love someone. You cannot live without love. But material love doesn't satisfy. We discussed in the beginning today. You have to come to that understanding. So Rupa Goswami Pad says, the highest happiness for every soul is already there when they awaken love, pure love, through Uttama Bhakti. That's why we practice. How can we attain Krishna Bhakti, which is free from any trace of knowledge or karma, jnana or karma? Even though jnani and karmi, you may say like in America, everybody is not a devotee. How come they are not devotee? What they are doing? Because they are ignorant about this bhakti. They are not eligible yet. You can help them to come. During the stage of spiritual practice, it is called sadhana bhakti. You have to remember this. During your spiritual practice, it is called sadhana. In liberated stage, after doing sadhana for a while, you will come to Siddhavastha. And it is called devotional service performed in Prema Bhakti. Question: what are the intrinsic characteristics of devotional service? Then we discussed for 2 weeks, Anna Vilasita Sunnam Gyana Karma. Everybody remembers that verse. Anukulyana Krishna Anusilanam Bhakti Uttama. Uttam Bhakti means pure devotional service is a cultivation, means you have to endeavor for it. Inside and outside. Outside you do endeavor, inside your mood, favorable mood to serve, which should be devoid of material gain, including even liberation. So the bottom line is, everybody please remember, bottom line is the fruit of devotional service is pure love. Now question comes, what are the various distinctive characteristics of bhakti? We discuss, and this is going to come. I'm going to assign at the last week. Each person has to explain 6 characteristics. Whenever you have time, you read those. These are very important. What are the results you are going to get? Because they will motivate you. Like for an example, if question comes, how it is rare? It is rare, the bhakti, pure bhakti is rare. We should understand very carefully that bhakti will remain elusive so long as one performs devotional service improperly. Even if one engages in millions of different spiritual practice, apart from that, Bhakti Devi satisfies the majority of people with only impersonal liberation. She does not give bhakti unless she sees that the practitioner is highly qualified. You have to beg for it, even though it is within you, but it will never manifest until Krishna sanctions it. This is a key point we should remember. How powerful is bhakti? Bhakti, this love is so powerful that Krishna forgets that he is Supreme God. He goes under love. It is so powerful. So we discussed those. Then we also discussed how does bhakti attracts all attractive Sri Krishna. An answer we remember, I'm just paraphrasing. Sri Krishna together with all his loved ones become forcibly attracted and controlled by a person within whose heart Bhakti Devi has appeared. Krishna cannot be controlled or attracted by any other means. You cannot approach God, go directly to God without bhakti. Not possible. Okay, then question may arise, if bhakti is so sublimely potent, why do this, who study so many scriptures in India, even in here in Lake City, which is the next city from Alachua, there is one gentleman, he's an elderly gentleman, he knows the entire 10th canto verses. He recites one after another, one after another. But he doesn't like to chant Hare Krishna. He doesn't like to pursue bhakti. It seems like, wow, devotees are struggling to memorize the sloka and this man like recite like nothing. Like he can goes on. So we have to remember this. Bhakti and Sri Krishna are beyond all material boundaries. So human intelligence cannot reach them because it is gross and limited. However, one can easily understand the essence of bhakti, devotional service, bhakti tattva, if he has developed even a slight taste by the influence of pious deeds accumulated in the past. No one but the most fortunate living entity can understand Bhakti Tattva. Who remembers? Mother Bharati, do you remember what tests your progress in Bhakti? Mother Bharati, do you remember? How do we test that we are progressing or not progressing? She cannot hear, I guess. Who is going to answer? Mother Gopika Devi.
Maya?
Huh? What did you say?
Maya.
I have a problem of hearing. What you are saying?
I said Maya.
Maya. Maya has nothing to do. Maya will trick you, Prabhu, opposite. How someone knows? How do you know that you are progressing? Please write it down. You already wrote it down, you forgot. The test of progression in bhakti is the taste. Do you like it? Do you like to chant? Do you like to bow down to the Lord? Do you feel happy to that your parents are devotee? Do you feel happy? That itself is the test that you are progressing. If you don't like devotees, that means you are going away. Maya is pulling you out. Mother Gopika Devidasi. So what tests your progression in bhakti?
It's the taste.
Very good.
Of how much you like it.
Yes. Everybody must remember, these are the key points I mentioned few times. Very good. Thank you. Then question we also discuss another week. Why does material logic carry no weight? You may say. People are very logician. We also use logic every day. Answer was given. Logic does not have the qualities necessary for understanding spiritual pleasures. The logic does not have the quality necessary for understanding spiritual happiness. It is not proper to use argument to destroy the wisdom of the absolute truth. We should remember, even Mahabharata emphasized, Vedanta Sutra emphasized, the logic is useless. You should write it down. Logic is useless. Prabhupada quote this, Tarka Pratishtanat. Tarka Pratishtanat. This is a gist quote. Logic is useless for establishing spiritual substance. Why? Because what one person established by logic and argument today, more expert logician will refute tomorrow. That is why it is said that logic carries no respect in spiritual understanding. All this statement of the Vedanta established that logic cannot explain spiritual matter. So don't use for logic. I don't feel good. That's not a good logic. That's material. Okay. Now I have another, again same question. Is there any stage of bhakti between sadhan bhakti and prema bhakti? Come on, somebody answer in a quick. Is there a stage between sadhan and prema?
Bhava bhakti.
Very good. Wonderful answer. Bhava bhakti means you are paying attention. And is this the three stages? Oh, I already said that, so I cannot ask that question. Sadhan bhakti produce bhava, bhava produce prema. Very good. We discussed that. What are the characteristics of sadhan bhakti? If somebody say, okay, you want to do sadhana, every day you're doing, what are the characteristics? Characteristics is bhakti is one. The difference are between the different stages of development. As long as bhakti is performed by the conditions jiva, by means of his senses, it is called sadhan bhakti. This is a simple way of understanding. Everybody got it? Then question comes, see if you can answer it. If prema, pure love, is eternally perfect mood. Prabhupada quote this, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Ko Bunoy. You will hear Prabhupada's lecture, he quote this randomly. So why is it necessary to practice in order to attain sentiment that is eternally perfect? You remember yesterday that professor asked me that question. That was the doctor. He asked that question that if infinite is perceivable by the finite, then it is not infinite. And my answer to him was that if infinite cannot reveal himself to the finite, then he is not infinite. He was so shocked. He said, my God, this is unbelievable philosophy. Where do you get this? I said, from this book. So we have to be very thoughtful to practice. This is a conscious choice. Bhakti is a conscious choice. It is not by force or sentimental or judgmental. We want to be better than Hindus, better than Muslim, better than Christian. No, this is not what we do. Because this is a function of every soul's heart. What is bhakti? Is the function of the heart of every soul. Whether it's a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, doesn't matter. It's the function of the heart. So then question comes that if prem is eternally perfect, then why we need to practice to awaken this? Answer is I'm going to give you, but I'm going to ask you again tomorrow. Nitya Siddha Bhav is not actually something to be gained from elsewhere. That is true. That is, it cannot be produced by sadhana. Sadhana is a name given to practice of manifesting bhava in the heart. As long as it is not manifested in the heart, due to being covered, one will have to perform sadhana. In reality, this bhava is nitya siddha, eternally present in the heart. Is Mother Sarala Devi is present in the class? Is Mother Sarala Devi is present?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mother, can you explain this? That if pure love is in the heart, why do we need initiation and practice every day?
Because it gets covered by being in touch with material.
Example. You remember the example? The fire.
Yes, so we need like an outside fire to ignite the fire in the wood, which is the wood is our heart, us.
Very good.
So that initiation is like putting that consciousness.
Everybody understood? This is very nice. You know what I did? I'm sometimes acting like a dumb, and I did. I took a piece of wood to a saw machine. And on the way to Gainesville, there is a sawmill. So I took it. I said, there is a fire in the wood. I want to see make it into dust. And he did it. But there was no sign of fire. In other words, you can try to take the fire out of a piece of wood by any other process. You will never make it until the fire elements comes from outside. Everybody understood? So love of God is inside, but it has to be ignited by the person's connection, guru or pure devotees connection, that when we practice that connection like a two piece of wood rubbing each other every day, mind, material ego and the pure ego is rubbing pure goodness, then all of a sudden you say, oh my God, I cannot live without Krishna, I love you Krishna, and that's it, your life changes. So this is a very good example, thank you. Now, question may come. What is the distinguishing characteristic feature of sadhana? What is the distinguishing characteristic? Sadhana bhakti is, I'm going to give you one line. Please write it down. Jena kena upayana. You may not remember the sloka, but there is a sloka Rupa Goswami Pad gave. Jena kena upayana mano Krishna niveshayat. Sadhana bhakti is any method that trains the mind to become Krishna conscious. That's it. What is sadhana bhakti? Where is Mother Krishna? Mother Krishna, what is the definition of sadhana bhakti?
To train the mind in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, any process. So out of 64, anything that will make you to think of Krishna and come to Krishna, it is sadhana bhakti. Everybody got it? Very good. Not that you have to do all the limbs. Any limbs out of these 5, if you are attracted, any limbs, just go with it. But be aware of the other limbs also. Any activity in this sadhana bhakti that makes you Krishna conscious, your mind is focused. Just like Mother Yashoda calls one time Krishna, Gopal. Krishna could not hold his royal position. He took off his crown and everything and ran towards Mother Yashoda. So like this, any name that you are attracted, keep on chanting that name. How many kinds of sadhana bhaktis are there? Anybody knows? How many kinds of sadhana bhakti? Who said 2?
2 types.
Yes, what are those?
Raganuga and Dehi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti.
Very good. Wonderful answer. This is just a reflection. I'm just summarizing what we reflect so far. And what is Vaidhi Bhakti? So far we finished, but what is Vaidhi Bhakti in one sentence? I want you to you can paraphrase your way. The living entity's spiritual propensity is manifest in 2 ways. The regulation found in the codes of Shastra are called vidhi or regulations. And the inclination that has its origin in this vidhi or regulation is called Vaidhi Pravritti, the tendency to follow scriptures. Bhakti that is caused by the discipline of scripture is called Vaidhi Bhakti. Everybody got it? Bhakti that is caused by the discipline of scriptures or nectar of devotion is called Vaidhi Bhakti because it has its origin in Vaidhi Pravritti or tendency to follow Shastra. Now question may comes, what is the characteristics of Vaidhi Bhakti? The Shastra has prescribed regulative duties called Vaidhi. Also it has Shastra has 2 things. In the beginning, I had a talk with Gopal Radhe Prabhu. The elimination and selection. What to do, what not to do. What to follow, what not to follow. So this idea, all these rules and regulation is based on one principle and everybody must remember this. If you can remember the sloka, is great. If you cannot remember the sloka, you must memorize the English. Always remember Vishnu and never forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. This is the main principle. And the sloka goes very sweet. Smartabha satatam Vishnu bismarta banajatachit sarve vidhi nisheda suya yatera kinkara. Oh, Haribol, 7 o'clock there will be darshan. Let's go. But if there is no 7 o'clock, you may not even go. So all these rules, regulation made just to make you bow down, see the deity form, just get acquainted because you are not accustomed of remembering Krishna all the time. So all the rules and regulation is the subservient to this principle, which is called always remember Krishna, never forgets Krishna. That's all. This is the most important. And let's see. Question may rise. I wrote one question myself. That there are 4 types of people in Bhagavad Gita. It says that they come to God to fulfill their own desire. What kind of bhakti are they qualified for? And I'm going to give you answer, but later on you have to explain. When they associate with the saintly sadhu, they may come to God, but if they do not meet devotee, they have no access to bhakti. They can come to God, they can approach God, but approaching God is important, but more important, association of the devotees. This is very important. When they associate with the saintly sadhus, their distress, their inquisitive, their desire for wealth, their desire for knowledge are removed. Example, like the Sanaka, the sages, but they met Sutta Goswami. Dhruva Maharaj, but he met Narad Muni. His mother also was Guru, Bhartma Padarshuk Guru. Like this, without devotee association, nobody can attain bhakti. It is not possible. Question comes also, we discussed, do devotee attain liberation, mukti at all? Not at all. Especially the merging is not at all. Now question comes, if you want to say, I want to give a personal gift in person to Gopal Radhe Prabhu, can I do it from here through the Zoom? Or I need to fly to his place and give it? Who is going to answer? Pitambar Prabhu.
Yes.
Did you hear the question? I want to give Gopal Radhe Prabhu a personal gift in person. Can I do it through the Zoom?
No.
What do I have to do?
You have to give it to him in person.
Very good. So if you want to serve God, if you want to offer something, can you do it through the mind or through your Zoom?
You have to do it through the mind.
To where?
To Krishna.
No, just like Gopal Radhe, he is in a place. I have to be in that place. You understand my concept? So to approach God, you have to approach that platform where God exists. God does not exist in the altar like this. He exists in a pure goodness. So you have to come to pure goodness. That is automatically liberation. We don't want liberation, but to offer something to God, to even bow down, to go to the altar, initiate all these things, you are already liberated. You understand the point? To give to Gopal Radhe Prabhu personally, I have to be where he is. So to approach God and offer him, I have to be at the platform where God exists. Very good. How can a qualified devotee repay his debts to the demigods and others? If you are surrender soul, anybody is interested, you read this Bhagavatam 11.5.41. Devarshi Bhuta Aptaninam Pitrinam. I gave a whole class about it, 2 hours, just that one sloka. Very beautiful. That you have a debts. You have a debts to your parents. You are not born from the sky by the Christian idea of a stork drop the baby in somebody's, when they ask how the baby is born. It's okay, that conception is okay for a little child. But the parents decided to have a child. So you are born, you have a debts. Did you ever pay your debts to your parents? What is the best way to pay all the debts? Who can say it? Quick. Become a good devotee. Huh? Who is answering? How do you pay your debts? Become a good devotee. That's the best way you can pay all your debts. And then you don't have to pay anybody any debts once you become a surrender soul. Okay, I will stop here. That was a long 2 hours class. Thank you for tolerating everything. I think I finished almost, and tomorrow we'll start a new section. I'm going to end with this, that today also one of the 5 items, one was holy name. I want everybody to remember this. Anytime you see me or anywhere talking, you remind me this also. Write it down. Sri Nam, Sri Hari's Nam, Sri Krishna's name is the life and soul of the mantra, Mahamantra. What is the life and soul in the Mahamantra? Is Krishna himself. It is not the mantra what purifies. It is Krishna in the mantra. So Sri Hari's name is the life and soul of the mantra. You have to remember this. The rishis added words such as Nama, we go, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, we say this. So you have to always remember, it is Krishna within. Is the holy name live or dead? Hari Bol. Everybody
Live.
chant Hare Krishna. Is the holy name is live or dead?
It's alive.
Yes. Holy name is alive, but your access may not be in a proper way you to experience is alive. Holy name is Krishna. But how you approach, 2 things you need. Service attitude and under guidance. Do not approach directly without service attitude. Okay, I take the Japamala and here I am, Prabhu. I don't need to be remembering Guru or service attitude. I can just chant Hare Krishna. It will be alphabet. It will not be Krishna. When you have a service attitude and you have under guidance, by the mercy of my Guru, I am approaching the holy name. Then you will experience as alive. Okay, I'll stop here. I have 8 minutes to get some reflection, question, comments.
There is somebody raised hand.
Oh, somebody is raising hand? Hold on. Yes, Prabhu.
প্রভু আপনি বাংলায় বলছি আমি রামানুজ গুরু মহারাজের সঙ্গে ছিলেন অরল্যান্ডোতে, তো আপনি বলবেন তার সম্বন্ধে, আপনি গুরু মহারাজের সঙ্গে ছিলেন অন্তিম সময়ে।
আমি কালকে বলেছিলাম, কালকে শুনেছিলেন?
না, আমি তো এর তো বাচ্চাদের ইংলিশ ক্লাস, আমি শুনতে
আচ্ছা,
পাই না।
গোপাল রাধে প্রভুর কাছে রেকর্ডিং আছে কি?
No, Prabhu, I didn't record any of those, I'm sorry.
Okay, maybe I'll tell you, Prabhu, privately, because it takes like a half an hour, because I have only 5 minutes. I don't think I can say the whole thing in 5 minutes.
It's okay. I'll call you.
But I can tell you one thing. You have to tell me. Yesterday I mentioned this. What is the value of person's presence if you did not miss him in his absence? Can you write it down and you please answer me to this? You don't have to answer me today, but answer me. What is the value of Bhakti Charu Maharaj's presence in your life if you did not miss him in his absence? Means in his absence, what you are missing for? That will give you connection with him in your heart. But I can tell you, this is very true. It was the most victorious departure I ever experienced in my life. He had the glorious departure. The floor that he was on, it is all ventilator floor. They have a high security. They had a COVID-19 on the ground of floor below this. So then the floor he was in, it's like high security means only ventilator patient there's. And they put him all the way in the back. He is the only person was a joyful departure. While I was coming back, I was looking others. Before I did not look, I just went straight to his room. I saw all the people are almost like a dead, they scary face. They are in ventilator, like they see Jamadutas or something. But Maharaj's place was such a joyful. It's like a unbelievable experience. That's all I can say in few minutes. But we'll talk, okay? But you have to answer me this question. What? Okay, very good. Thank you. Any other question or comments or reflection? Come on, quick, Prabhu, Matajis. What did you learn today, Mother Ishopanishad?
Jai Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mother. What are you going to take with you?
I learned always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna.
Wonderful. Very good.
Also, I wanted to remember the text that you said to go to and the payment to the demigods. Is that Canto 11, Chapter 5, Text 41?
Yes. Devarshi Bhutapta Ninam Pitrinam. That's the verse. Very good.
Okay. And I think Sadhana Bhakti is any method that trains the mind to be Krishna conscious.
Wonderful. Now, yeah, very nice answer. Very good. Okay, next. Mother Bharati, what did you learn today? What are you going to remember? You cannot turn off your, you have to turn it on. Shyam Sundar Prabhu, why Mother Bharati is getting ready? Yeah, go ahead.
So logic has no sense for the spiritual quality.
Can you say it one more time? I'm sorry, I'm missing it.
Logic has no sense in like spiritual quality and everything.
Okay, very good. Bhagavat Prabhu, you are generally very quick. I want to hear something. Shyamsundar Prabhu, what did you learn?
You cannot go to God without bhakti. That's what I learned.
You cannot go to God what?
Without bhakti.
Without bhakti. Very good. Wonderful. Yes. Very good. Okay. Shyamsundar Prabhu, what did you learn? Something.
So, in order to, if you don't want to offend someone, you have to know all the offenses first before you offend them.
Very nice. Next time you're going to tell me all the offenses, Prabhu? Can you?
Yes.
Okay, oh, wonderful. Thank you. Please memorize this every day until I ask you. Okay. Yes, Mother Vishnu Priya.
My mother wanted to share.
I learned what is Vrindavan means, where everybody tries to please Krishna.
All the time.
And how we can go to Golok Vrindavan? We can go if we follow instruction of Guru.
Very good.
We can go to Golok Vrindavan.
Very good. Very nice. And Mother Vishnu Priya?
Thank you, Prabhu.
One thing that I will take away from today's class is Sri Krishna's name is the life and soul of the Maha Mantra.
Wonderful. Yes. Very good.
Lord Krishna himself is present when we are chanting.
Very nice. Pitambar Prabhu?
What I learned during this class is that we cannot use logic to explain spiritual things.
Wonderful. You're probably a logician. I can see your face. And that's very nice. Put a logic. That age is good. Very good. but don't try to understand spiritual life. Very nicely said. Very good. Thank you. Mother, Anu and Krishnandu, who is who? I don't know.
I'm Manu.
Okay.
I learned that without the association of devotees, you cannot attain bhakti.
Wonderful. Yes. Very good. And your brother, is he your brother or?
He's my brother.
Okay. Can he say something?
Bhakti is a conscious choice.
Bhakti is?
Bhakti is a conscious choice.
Conscious choice. Yes, very good. Wonderful. Very nice. Very nice. Yes, it's up to you. Rico Eli.
Krishna, let's see, I learned about, associating with only Krishna Pita concerning association with devotees.
Similar minded, who has an affection for you. Very good. Very good.
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mother Madhurima. Oh, sorry. Your name is Madhurima, Mother?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
I
I thought you are
learned
50 years
that-
old. That's why I thought.
I learned that to go to Vrindavan, you have to follow your spiritual master.
Very nice. Very good. Mother Manjari Dasi. Are you there? Okay, she's typed it. I learned that if a devotee is pure, he will remind you of Lord Krishna. Very good. Wonderful. Mother Sailaja.
Hare Krishna. I learned that you're the product of our decision of not situation.
Very good. You are product of your own decision. Very good. Mother Lakshmi Priya.
I also learned that you are a product of your decision, not situation.
Okay, so you make your own conscious choice. At this moment, you are making your future. And whatever you are experiencing, you cannot blame anybody. It was your original, how Krishna gave you where this is, you wanted that. Okay, very nice. And then Anurup Bhakta. The thumbprint is very baby. I don't know who is Anurup Bhakta. Is it baby or grown up?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I learned that the Mahamantra is not just, it's just not mantra, it's the life and soul of it is Krishna, and
very good. Krishna is present there. Very nice. Jagannath Prabhu.
Associate with the devotees who cares for your spiritual advancement or who have the similar goal.
Very good. Wonderful. Like-minded. Very good. And it's not Radhika and Nandu. Who are you, Prabhu? What name is your? Nanda Dulal.
What I learned today is that bhakti is sustained by conviction and determination.
Wow. Not that you feel good or not feel good, not like that, huh?
No, it's conviction and your determination.
Very good, very good, wonderful. Whom am I missing? Oh, the two sisters, Krishna and Bhagavati Devi. Where are they? They disappeared? No, they are here. Okay. Go ahead one by one.
We should be aware of every lens of bhakti, and there is 5 lenses of bhakti. First one is deity worship, second one is reciting Bhagavad Gita, and third one is sadhu sangha, and fourth one is chanting Hare Krishna, and fifth one is reciting in temple devotional atmosphere.
Wonderful. Very good.
I learned that when we do sadhana as duty, it will be painful unless we change our sadhana unless we change the duty to acceptance. It is not going to be spontaneous. It's going to be painful. It's going to remain painful unless we change it to the duty to spontaneous.
Such a wonderful. Now how do you get out of the pain? Painful situation of practicing. What do we have to do?
We have to continuously practice it.
Accept it.
Accept it and apply it.
Yes. Then it will become happy actually. Very good. Wonderful. Oh, this is such a nice. Am I missing someone? Yeah, Gopal Radhe Prabhu. Of course I'm missing.
Okay, we'll have to end here, Prabhuji, after this.
Okay.
I really, the one thing that I really liked today was especially hearing this, that the name of Sri Hari is the life and soul of the mantra.
Wonderful.
Just the other day, my Guru Maharaj was saying that this Harinam, it is not an object, it is a person.
Yes.
So when you say that it's a person, that means he definitely has a soul.
Yes.
So what is the soul? So you answered my question today, that yes, the name Krishna is the soul of the holy name.
Very good.
That person, Nam Prabhu.
Very good. Okay, everybody please chant one more time and obeisances. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpataru vishya kripa sindhu bevacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. We'll see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.